Hi, I'm Jamie Smart, and you're listening to the Profitable Coaches podcast, the show for coaches, trainers, therapists, consultants, and other transformation professionals. And each episode, you're going to hear a live coaching session and learn how to grow your practice, have a bigger impact on your clients, and enjoy the journey every step of the way. And live streamers, I'll do this coaching demo with one of you. So Claire, you put your hand up. Let's go for you. In a word or phrase, what do you want coaching on?
I need to make a decision about whether I'm in the right place with my business, my work. Okay, great. So this will work great. So I'm, like I did yesterday with Pam, I'm going to work with Claire for 10, 15 minutes, something like that. I may pause from time to time and talk to you guys while she eavesdrops. And I may explain a bit of what I'm up to. You guys can laugh as much as you want, but no comments. So, Claire, what can I do for you? What would you like to have happen? What would you like to work on? I'd like to get some clarity about whether I'm doing the right thing in terms of my business and my work. I changed it a lot at the beginning of last year, and I'm not sure I'm yet in the right place with it. And I'm just not sure how to work out how I feel and to kind of get to the right place on it.
Okay, let me pause you for a second. So speaking to you guys as a coach, I have no idea what she's talking about. So that's good. It's good for me to know that I don't know what she's talking about because I can find out a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do. So what do you mean? Like, I'm just thinking about, what does it mean to be in the right place? What are you talking about, Claire?
I'm not sure that whether I'm doing the right thing or not. And so I made a decision to walk away from my career, which I did at the beginning of last year. So I left a long-standing career and started a new business and started doing some consultancy and a bit of coaching alongside that. And I'm beginning to feel as though I feel a bit like I've been treading water the last 18 months and trying to. I feel like I'm trying to get to a place, but I'm not in the place.
What's the place you're trying to get to? Let me pause you again while you reflect on that. So again, the interesting thing is, and this is fine, by the way, there's no implicit criticism on what I'm saying, but Claire's speaking very metaphorically, treading water, getting to a place, and, it sounds terrific, but I still have no idea what she's talking about. I've got a little bit more background information. So she said she left a long-standing career to start her own business. So I'm like, okay, she started a business with the aim of getting to a place, but she's not at that place. I still don't know what she's talking about, so I just keep asking. So what do you mean by getting to a place? What are you talking about?
I was really successful in my previous career in the ways that most people measure success, in the sense that I earned a lot of money, I had a high-profile position, and I thought that was success. But then actually when I got there, I found that it didn't, I didn't feel as I imagined I would, and I ended up feeling really unfulfilled and unhappy in it.
Okay, pause. So the reason I'm pausing so much, Claire, you're doing great, Claire. I just want to unpack what I'm paying attention to. So here's what I just heard. Claire was doing a career where she had an idea that if she could get to a certain level of success, that would bring with it all kinds of terrific qualities like, I'm just going to make this up, peace, contentment, validation, security, feeling successful, excitement, adventure, fun, romance and foreign travel. And she got there and was ready to experience the plethora of goodies that were awaiting. And it was like, oh no, it's not here. I've come to the wrong place. Fuck, that was really hard work. And they're not. Is that correct? Have I correctly assessed the situation?
Yes.
Okay. So that's. It's just a simple example. So I'm forming a hypothesis. Well, I'd say I'm forming a hypothesis. I formed it ages ago, didn't I? Because I always show up with everything looks like a nail, one hammer, boom, boom, boom. I can't remember where my damn 3 things are. Anyway, just imagine the words explanatory, predictive, and constant. So I'm able to, like, just between us girls, I'm not going to tell Claire this, but what was going on for her previously, she was in her career and she was really caught up in the outside in misunderstanding. She thought that there was a place she could get to in her career and success and that sort of thing that could give her the set of feelings that she wanted. But as we know, you're always living in the feeling of thought in the moment. So the only place those feelings are, and the only time those feelings are ever going to show up is now and in the moment. And there's no external set of circumstances that can bring you to them. So she was on, she was on what I used to call the hidden hamster wheel. She was trying to get somewhere in order to get a feeling, right? But feelings don't come from there. So this is the teddy bear factor. So just between us, I'm explaining what's going on. So this is what's forming my hypothesis. So she's done that once already. So we'll go back to Claire. So Claire, I was just talking to these guys, but so you're in your career, you're super successful, but it didn't give you the feelings that you thought you wanted. Now I'm going to make a prediction. My prediction is that at that point you went, you know what? So we've explained, you know what? I think what I need to do is quit my job, start my own business, because then, once I'm doing that, I'm going to get the feelings that I want to feel. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How's that working out?
It hasn't been working out, really.
Well, and that's no surprise to me, Claire, because that's not how it works. So you had a pattern that you tried, and fair play, I've done this one too, and so you went for career success, and good for you, by the way. Like, not everyone manages to get their shit together to that degree where they're able to be, successful in an organization and make a good salary and all that sort of stuff. So well done. And you learned a lot of stuff too, which supports you now and will continue to support you in a variety of ways in the future. So that's all good. Then you went, hang on, this ain't it. I'm going to try a different path to get to the place where I can have those feelings I want. So you jacked in your career, you started a business, and you're trying to get to that place, and you're realizing, that's not working either. Well, it wouldn't, because, and again, well done for doing that and giving that a go, but there's no place you can get to that can give you what can only come from within you. So I've got good news and bad news. That place does exist, but it's inside you, and it's been with you your whole life. It's not out there. It's right here, in the moment.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see that I am, and the last yesterday and today, that's really begun to land with me, and I feel much, like I said earlier, I feel in a much calmer place, and I feel much more relaxed about just everything, but I still have this uncertainty about how then I work out what I should be doing when it comes to kind of what I do with my life, really, and my business.
Okay, so let me pause you again. So the last thing I heard her say was, I still have this uncertainty about how my life, my business, whatever. Okay. Well, there are two possible sources. Well, there's only one source of a feeling of uncertainty, and that's you don't know. Now, here's how it looks to me. Claire has been operating from a completely outside-in model of success, both in her career and then in her business, until yesterday morning. And so she's just realized yesterday, feeling more peaceful, more calm, all that stuff. How it looks to me is you now, because you've had your old model of success, it's kind of fallen down to some degree. And you're now in a place of not knowing. Now, here's my guess. This is just a guess. It's not a prediction, it's just a guess. Is it fair to say that you're not, until now, you haven't been too keen on not knowing?
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be okay to not know for a couple of days?
I guess it'll have to be. Not knowing is something that I've probably always struggled with. Any kind of uncertainty or not feeling like I had control over things, something that I've always found difficult.
Well, let's check a couple of things. Like, there are certain things you can have control over. Like, if you're driving to the shops, it's good to be in control of your vehicle. There's not that, at any bigger scale of things, you can't actually have that much control over it anyway. You can have the illusion of control. But the thing is, when you're shifting from one model of reality to a new one, sometimes it takes a little time. So in moments of, I remember a story, you might like this. So Steve Jobs, he was good at business. That's kind of an understatement. And he got fired from Apple, the company that he had founded. He got fired. And he went and he started, I think, Next, and maybe even Pixar as well. And then he got rehired as the CEO of Apple and turned the company around. Like, he did an amazing job, really simplified the product range, huge success. And so he's being interviewed, I guess it was the late 90s, mid-90s. And this reporter asks him, so what are you going to do now? You know, you've turned Apple around, you've made it incredibly successful, you've revolutionized the marketplace. What are you going to do now? He said, what are you going to do with the business? What's next for Apple? He said, I don't know. And the reporter was shocked because they're like, this guy's supposed to be a strategic genius. What the fuck? He goes, well, what are you going to do? And Jobs goes, I'll wait until I know. So he didn't know. And then he knew. And once he knew, iTunes, iPhone, revolutionized the music business, revolutionized the phone business. Massive game changer. But that came from the unknown. Now, if you look at because what you're talking about, Claire, is strategy. What's the right strategy, overarching strategy to have? Now, if you look at the masters of strategy through history, I'm talking people like, who would we know? Napoleon, Bill Gates, Clausewitz, Steve Jobs, the Google guys, the Netflix guys, Uber, Travis Kalanick or whatever, people who are good at strategy, like game changers. They have 3 things they do. The first thing they do is they prepare for opportunity. And that's what you've been doing. So instinctively, you knew that it made sense for you to move away from your career and have more freedom and and be, more under your own steam, so to speak. That's preparing for opportunity. Coming on this program is preparing for opportunity, preparing yourself. That's the first thing. Second thing, notice opportunity when it shows up. Third thing, when it shows up, act on it. So you're in a place of not knowing. Jobs was in a place of not knowing. And he waited till he knew. And once he knew what to do, he acted on it. Now, in the midst of doing that, I guess he was still doing all the things that made sense to him to do. He didn't just go, I'll just go and lie under the duvet for 6 months until I know what to do. No, he continued to live his life and do his work and show up in his world and follow his curiosities and attend to his passions and wants and that sort of thing. But the reason I would say that I saw this beautiful quote by Mandy Evans. Mandy's a therapist who I met once, and she said, most people are afraid of the unknown, so they create beliefs and stories about the world to make themselves feel safe. She said, but I love the unknown, so I don't need beliefs. Well, the same applies to trying to make decisions when it's not decision-making time. Now, Claire, what are you noticing as we sit here right
now? What I'm noticing about how I feel is that I feel much more relaxed about that now, and that actually I don't need to know, and I feel comfortable with the fact that I'll know when I know.
Beautiful. And in between now and then, it might occur to you, like, here's what happens for me. When I'm in a place of not knowing, it might occur to me to read this book or to watch that movie when I don't know, I pay particular attention to my enthusiasms. What am I interested in? What am I enthusiastic about? I'll tell you a story. So this is it was probably 3 years ago. I was in a place of not knowing, and I got fascinated. So I was telling you, first insight, I saw, everything you've been looking for outside of you, in the future, in possessions, in other people, in accomplishment, you're going to find it inside of you. Like, wow, game changer. Teddy bear factor. Works inside out 100% of the time. Well, this is what Claire's been going through, right? Second realization, the fact that people can see, hear, and feel means they have everything already there within them. They have innate mental health. They have that source of wisdom and creativity and curiosity and possibility and innovation and everything. It's already there within them. Resilience. See, the reason Claire was thinking that she had to have a plan is she wasn't factoring in the fact that her own intuition and wisdom is going to guide her. She was making a picture of the future that didn't include her capacity for insight and realization. And that's what we all do sometimes. That's the structure of worry and anxiety. I'll make an image of the future, and then I will overlook the fact that I'm resilient, insightful, and creative. So that was my second insight. People already have that. Third insight. Up until this point, I'd been thinking this was an interesting method, an interesting approach. In June 2009, I woke up one morning and I was like, holy shit, it's principles. I saw this is the future of psychology. It's the future of humanity. And I called up Nikki. I said, Nikki, we're getting out of the NLP business. There's principles. It's a game changer. And Nikki was like, what the fuck? To her credit, she hung in there. So anyway, about 3 years ago, I just got fascinated with reading books about germs. All the time reading books about germs. Never been interested in them before. Reading them all the time. Well, it turns out those guys, the guys who calibrated better than Semmelweis didn't calibrate well. He got beaten to death. Calibration's important. Two guys, Pasteur and Koch, led teams that were incredibly well calibrated. They were very socially intelligent. They had supreme social skills, and they used everything in their power over the course of 20 years between 1880 to 1900 to establish germ theory as the orthodoxy. And as a result, we're all alive today. We probably wouldn't be if it wasn't for that. So I followed those enthusiasms for reading about that stuff and created our charity as a result, the Clarity Foundation. And that was in a time of not knowing. So I have an increasing respect for not knowing. So anything to report at this point, Claire?
It's interesting. I think what you've really reinforced for me, just during this, without even saying the words, is that idea that I have everything that I need. It's there inside of me already. You didn't say that, but you reinforced it for me, and that feels very true. That feels like the truth.
It's absolutely true. And speaking to you guys as clarity coaches in training, if I had told Claire that, she might have gone, no, mate, you don't know, da-da-da-da. My job isn't to tell her that. My job is to create the conditions where she realizes that for herself. So thank you, Claire. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. If you want to grow your profitable practice, here's what to do next. Number 1, download your copy of the free book, The Profitable Coach's Scorecard, to identify your sticking points, leverage points, and quick wins for taking your practice to a new level. It's a quick, easy read with a powerful effect, and you can get it for free at jamiesmart.com/scorecard. Number 2, join the Profitable Coaches group on Facebook and connect with an amazing community of professionals like you and me who are passionate about growing a profitable practice and having a big impact in the world. You can join for free at jamiesmart.com/coaches. Number 3, if you want to be a guest on an episode of this podcast and have a big breakthrough in your professional life, go to jamiesmart.com/guest and enter your details. And finally, I massively appreciate that you're sharing your attention with me. Whatever you think of the show, it would really mean a lot to me if you could head over to iTunes and give it a star rating. If you think it deserves 1 star, go right ahead. But if you want to give it 5 stars, then right on. Thanks!